Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show number 201.
201.
201. Pardon me while I try to get a Cyclizar. My name is Rob. Fucking Pokemon giveaways. My name is Rob. I am joined, as always, by Josh.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Actually, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in
Josh Murray.
All is right in the world. And even more is right in the world, making his triumphant return to us, being a freshly graduated man, now out in the world, experiencing life all over again.
Woefully unemployed.
That's the life, buddy. That's the life. Brandon is here. Welcome back.
Hello, everyone. I don't have my own theme song, but
Figure it out. Fucking figure it out.
We'll get one. If it helps, Josh co-opted that theme song from somebody very awesome.
I stole it from a man named Joe Hendry.
No problem with that.
Oh.
I believe.
I do too. At least usually.
Yeah.
In some things.
You'll believe more when you actually watch one of his matches.
I don't have a theme song with my own name in it, but anytime I walk into a room or any kind of public setting, the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme usually plays. So you can call that my theme song if you want.
For some reason, I thought it would be the Teen Titans animated show theater.
I wish it would make my life a lot cooler, but no, the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme because shenanigans ensue.
I don't know if this joke is going to go over your head, but I would love if you walked into a comic shop and the song just goes, "Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name."
No, I get it. I mean, I was in Boston for many years. I know Cheers, but like
Norm.
that wouldn't get too close because it's actually kind of true.
Yeah,
it's true.
that would be awesome. I know, like you said for a while now that
like, it's me.
The LCS owner where you used to live in New York was knew you pretty damn well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm all about fostering that relationship.
As you should.
Yeah. Well, excuse me.
Whoa.
God damn. Josh.
Before I did not mean to do that. I was going to start talking and it just, some things just work their way out. Brandon.
What's up?
I don't know if you saw it or not, but I replied to you in Discord about your need to be able to branch out and find more comics to love.
Yeah.
Did you happen to take a peek at that list?
I did. It was all very helpful.
I went deep.
Yeah. I'm gonna work through some of those as I can. But I don't want to talk about it on the comics show. It's kind of awkward to talk about how I'm not as in comics on the comics review show.
Oh, nonsense.
But
yeah, honestly, I think
they're all about.
I think we've all been there. We've all I've gone through it a few times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially when you read as much as we do, burnout can happen.
No, it's definitely real.
Years ago, I got so burnt out, I gave up an entire publisher for Christ's sake. So I mean, it happens.
He's yet to go back.
It's true.
Little by little, I read what's his face's. I read some of what's his face's Moon Knight, and I'm reading Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther, Fantastic Four, and I haven't started Ultimate X-Men yet, but I'm going to.
Plus, the Ultimates came out this
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. This week, yesterday, actually.
Yes.
Which
It's quite good.
Oh, I have not had a chance to read it yet.
Okay, we'll say
literally just picked up my copy.
Right on.
But yeah, it looks very good.
It's very enjoyable, and it's interesting how they're doing this. I didn't even realize at first that Ultimate Spider-Man has been going with this timeline where the month the book comes out.
Yeah, it's the monthly thing,
right? And it's the same thing with the Ultimates. They say during the issue that we're currently in June.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is they've set a timeline for themselves. So that's no spoilers there. They've set a timeline for themselves, and
Good.
You can tell that within that time frame, the Ultimate story that is currently going will come to a head. Is what I imagine will happen. So it's very cool how they're doing it with the real time.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's a cool experiment,
dude. I wish
it'll let stuff age naturally.
Yeah,
like 24, that TV show, dude. I wish more comics would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little risky just because comics, especially the superhero stuff, operate with the sliding timeline, so it's just kind of hard to keep that going for a while.
Yeah, I know. I just say
it's an interesting experiment. I'd love to see other comics, not just superhero stuff, try that format. I think it works pretty well.
Yeah,
or can work very well if you plan it right.
Well, guys, I have been slammed all week long, and yesterday was brutal. It was my 11-year-old's birthday. He turned 11.
Happy birthday!
And we do a it's your day kind of thing. You get your presents, but rather than like have an hour-long birthday party, we'll take them out. We'll let them pick a day and let them pick up a couple friends and let them go out like to the movies. But he also gets on his birthday, he gets his like own day. You pick what the hell we're doing.
Did you get this idea from Always Sunny?
No.
D-Day.
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 Charlie Day. Yeah.
All right. Yes, we did. But but
well, at least your kid's not making you do embarrassing things.
Yeah.
Maybe
no.
he is. I don't know. At least
your kid's not jumping
Maybe that's where the story's going.
No. He took his report. God, no, it was just draining, man. He took his report card because he got stellar. He's in an alpha classes, so he nails A's all the time, right? Well, there's a donut store down here called Krispy Kreme.
Oh,
and if you're in elementary school or primary school, whatever the hell you call it, for every A you get a free donut.
Ooh.
Well, he got 5 A's.
Oh shit!
5 donuts.
So we had the first thing, we started off the morning with going to Krispy Kreme and getting him damn near half a dozen donuts, and then everybody else had to get donut too. And then we went from there to we went from there to shoe shopping because he's obsessed with Skechers slip-ins. He don't want anything else. He won't even consider it. Skechers slip-ins or the NASA shoes. And the NASA shoes are too small. So we spent a long time in the shoe store. And we had to go out to lunch. We had to hit 2 separate malls and Best Buy, and then Applebee's for lunch. And we ate so much that we still haven't eaten yet.
Leftovers.
Oh, it was insane. And we got home, we finished up the night. It was about 9:30. I crashed thinking I was going to be exhausted, and I ended up not being able to go to sleep at all.
Eesh.
So, 0 sleep last night. My kid whooped the hell out of me, and thank goodness for you guys. And honestly, a pretty good week for comic books.
Yeah.
Short, but pretty solid.
I said all that to say, I haven't had time to look up any comic book news. Has there been any?
I don't think
Or
so.
should we jump right into the books that we read?
I haven't seen anything pop up, but let me take a quick look.
Yeah, I just have one book announcement because Rob and I are shills for the Energon universe. But if you've been keeping up with stuff, new book in the Energon universe is out this week. Scarlet #1. It's great. It's by Kelly Thompson.
It is out this week.
Oh,
Say no more.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the Joelle Jones cover because
AIPT already has a preview for Scarlet #2.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, it's great. And actually, I would say, Josh, if you were going to read any of the Energon G.I. Joe titles, this is the one because there's a character at the end that I think you'll be very happy to see. So
awesome. All right. Okay.
Great book.
Scarlet.
Definitely worth checking it out.
I am adding it to the list right now.
Hell yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly, this is the character that you really liked in G.I. Joe. So I think this is for you.
Scarlet.
Well,
spoilers if you know that.
Scarlet
you know
was cool.
Favorite G.I. Joe character is.
I don't, so no spoilers.
I have 3, but I have a feeling that I've talked about one of them more than any of the other 2. So let me add this into here real quick. Rob, were you able to find anything else?
No, but now my mind is furiously going back to all our conversations about G.I. Joe to see how many times you've mentioned certain characters. Snake Eyes. I don't think you've mentioned Snake Eyes once.
Oh yeah, sure I have.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I've mentioned Snake Eyes. Oh,
I'm hoping Snake Eyes shows up. that's the only one I like.
That's the only one you like?
I don't really know much about G.I. Joe, so it's the one I recognize. Take that as you will. I like Snake Eyes, I like Scorpion, I like Yoshimitsu. I like samurais and ninjas. Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I feel like I only recognize the Cobra characters.
But okay, so you G.I. Joe has 2 ninjas, Rob.
Yeah, but I don't know what the other one's called. I don't remember.
Storm
I remember
Shadow.
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes is the good guy. Storm
He's
Shadow
got
is the
a sick
ninja
ass costume.
So does Storm Shadow.
I don't give a shit.
A ninja that dresses all in white.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's how badass he is. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. Let me go. I can only be on missions in the Arctic. Because if I'm
missions
in a forest,
complete
you'll
dark
see me right away.
And he doesn't worry about it. That's badass ninja. Quit picking on Storm Shadow.
That's a
fucker.
lame that's a lame ass ninja. My dad had a theory, and I don't know if it was his theory or if it was a theory he read off the internet. But how do we know that the ninjas from Japan weren't just like the shittiest ninjas in the world? Because the whole basis of ninjas that you're not supposed to be able to see them, right? So what if every country has their own ninja, but we just never know they're there? And Japan's ninjas are the ones that we see, so they just suck as ninjas.
I mean, like
that's a hell of a theory.
Our version of ninjas is just like spies, and you usually don't know who is a spy and who is not a spy. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm not really sure the point you were trying to make.
I don't know.
All right. Okay. So, I forgot all about it. Damn it. I got sidetracked by talking about G.I. Joe from G.I. Joe.
A real American hero.
I mean, that's it's IDW, right?
Skybound.
Which is Image.
Yeah. IDW was the previous holder of the title.
Yep. That's right. All right.
Ooh,
added to cart.
So I was going to bring up. It's completely unrelated to comics. I started watching Evangelion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hell yeah.
Do you like it, Brandon?
I love Evangelion. It's
Hell
like
yeah.
the best mech anime.
I've heard that, and I've never gotten around to watching it, so I started to because I found it was on Netflix.
Yeah,
I'm in love with it.
it's
Yep.
great.
All the way up until
Apparently, the end of Evangelion, where I will be devastated, according to Kirk and Caitlin.
Yeah,
Rob,
I'll just let
my
you enjoy the
man,
ride for now.
Rob,
Wild.
you're
Yeah.
going to get all the way up to right before the end, and you're like, this is the best mech anime I've ever seen. And then you're going to bawl your fucking eyes out.
Have you seen it?
Of course, it's Evangelion, dude.
Then why do you keep saying I'm sorry when I say I'm watching it?
Because I know how you're going to react to that ending.
Oh, fuck.
That's why.
Oh, man. So far, like I'm up to episode 13, and so far it's been almost lighthearted and fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
Yeah,
look,
it'll be good.
You damn well know that if it is a story that can pull emotion out of you, it automatically bumps way up the ladder for me. And that definitely does.
Okay, so Josh, I have a mission for you then. Before I finish Evangelion, and it might take me at least another week or two because I'm doing other stuff sporadically in between.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to watch Tokyo Sinks 2020 on Netflix and tell me which is more devastating emotionally.
Will you pop that into
I will send
Discord so I don't forget?
Now. I'll send you it right now. I'll also make sure that it's still on Netflix.
I mean, wherever it's at, I can track it down. That's not a problem.
Oh, did I say Tokyo Sinks? Japan Sinks. Sorry, Japan Sinks. I don't know why I said Tokyo.
If I'm being honest, neither do I. I was just going along for the ride.
It was hard to watch.
I'm going to be so pissed off if you get me reading this title and it makes me want to read the rest of them. I just want you to know that, Brandon.
Which one is this?
You to know this. Scarlet.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking Kelly Thompson writing. God damn it.
Well, you've got this one to look forward to. You've got Destro by Dan Waters to look forward to. So,
yeah, which for me, Dan Waters is an odd choice to write Destro, but that makes me want to read it more.
There you go. Because you don't know what the take is going to be, or you can't really predict what it's going to be based on his previous work. So
right, it's got me very curious.
Yeah,
Destro is a character you can take a lot of different places because there's not been enough done with that character to like.
Well, there's been a hell of a lot done already, and it sounds like there's going to be a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm as new to G.I. Joe as you can possibly be. So I'm just taking this all in and enjoying what they're building with the new continuity, I guess you could say.
It'll be. Damn it! I'm gonna have to read Destro too. I'm not in it. All right. Okay. Before I get skybound with going into the Energon universe, is there anything else that we need to talk about? Anything else newsworthy?
I don't think so.
That's all I got.
All right, well then I guess we'll jump into the honorable mentions then.
Go for it.
We had a number of them. First one I'm going to talk about, DC Pride, a celebration of Rachel Pollack. Number one of one. Rachel Pollack, man, the very first trans person to write for a mainstream comic publisher. She wrote the first mainstream trans hero for a major comic publisher. This Pride special is two of her classic stories, impactful ones, Doom Patrol number 70 and the Geek number 1. If you've never read the
Geek, actually.
Yeah.
Say the full name.
My bad.
I'm not gonna let you off the hook for that one because it's a stupid name.
It is, but it's a good book. And this has number 1. Those are featured in this anthology, along with a third story that picks up with Kate Godwin, aka Coagula, excuse me, written by Joe Correo. I have no idea how to say his name. Corrello or Correo. He's also queer, which I think is important if you're writing a character like Coagula. But there's also in the very beginning of the book a foreword discussing a story called Angel Baby. I don't think anybody will be able to get their hands on it, but if you can, it's going to take your mind, heart, and soul through the ringer, into a blender, back through the ringer, and then into a trash can. You want to talk about a story that'll get that will emotionally destroy you. It is Angel Baby. So that's a fair warning. But damn, I enjoyed this little anthology. It was really good. It gets an easy 8 out of 10. Next one up is My Adventures with Superman #1. It's fun. It's very much like the new cartoon. If you enjoy that or just easy reading, classic feel Superman stories that aren't specifically Christopher Reeve, then you need to check this out. I gave it an 8 out of 10 as well. Next up is Black Label's The Boy Wonder #2. The art is very much, don't take this the wrong way, but amateur webtoon. But the freaking story is so good that it even let me look past that. I gave that a 7.25 out of 10. Kneel Before Zod #6. Rob likes that one, so ask him for the store. And finally, Suicide Squad Kill Arkham Asylum #5, the final issue of the prequel series to Rocksteady Games' Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Here's my plea. All right. I looked forward to Gotham Knights, the game, for 2 years, and then I got it, and there was no local multiplayer, which is the only reason I wanted it. So never got to really get into that. I also waited about 2 years for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League to come out, and you turned it into fucking Fortnite DC edition. I wouldn't even buy that one. So my plea, turn Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League into a comic series. This prequel 5-issue limited run was awesome. Just ignore what was done in the game and write a comic sequel to the prequel, and you will have success. This issue, though, it was an 8 out of 10. And just as a PS there, postscript, this is coming from a dude who has got Amanda Waller fatigue right now, and I'm telling you, go read this book. And those are all of the honorables worth mentioning. Have you gotten a chance to check out the Boy Wonder series, Brandon?
No, I haven't. I do like Huniba, who is the artist on that book. I do like his art style quite a bit.
It's very, I don't know if you heard me talk about it, but it's like very chunky webtoonish.
Yeah. Well, I think he is, I don't know. It's got like this very simplistic quality to it that I really like. And he did, I was like trying to remember the name of the book that he did. I remember I picked up the first issue and I liked it, but I never came back to it, of a book called Monkey Meat.
Monkey Meat?
Monkey Meat.
That doesn't sound healthy.
And I remember I was like, wow, this, like, I really dig the story, but especially the art. So I had the guy on my radar, or at least the name, but I saw he was doing this project. I haven't had a chance to check it out, so I may just wait until it's over and read it in one go.
Yeah,
I did peek into the DC Pride celebration of Rachel Pollack because I was surprised they were even putting this out, considering her work at DC is not that large in terms of its volume,
right.
And also, rest in peace, Rachel Pollack, very important figure in literature. But
picking up from Grant Morrison,
I didn't really like her run on Doom Patrol. I'm sorry. It's just,
I knew what he was going to say.
Well, like Stuart Moore said it in his intro. Yeah, taking over after Grant Morrison is no easy feat, let alone taking over after one of the most definitive runs of all time. And I remember I was like, well, I want to see what happens next because it kind of ends on a decisive note, but there was so much more that they could do, especially with Dorothy Spinner, which they kind of do at first, and then I remember I was just like, this is it's just not it. But I'm glad that they are at least really kind of showcasing her work to I hope is what will be a new audience of people that'll check it out. And maybe someone out there will enjoy it more than I did. I was definitely surprised to see them reprint the Geek one shot because I didn't think anyone remembered that from the Vertigo Visions line. Which,
absolutely, man.
Does anyone remember the Vertigo Visions line? Does anyone remember Prez Smells Like Teen Spirit? Which is basically if the look of Prez was updated for, not really updated, but like basically if a person who looked a lot like Prez was a teenager in the grunge era of the 90s as opposed to the 70s.
Right. It's a Prez Kurt Cobain makeover.
Basically, yeah. Written by Ed Brubaker, surprisingly. Fun fact. So the Vertigo Visions line was just like updating all these kind of crap characters from like the 70s, seeing what they could do with the Vertigo label. So yeah, I was shocked to see this one, but I'm glad they reprinted it. So people will be able to discover it for the first time.
Have you ever picked up any issues of Interzone? Probably not.
No, that's like was that the don't tell me. It's it was part of a short-lived imprint, right? What was it called? Helix? Was that part of Helix? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Because if I remember correctly, Rachel Pollack did a book for Helix, which was like basically the short-lived DC sci-fi imprint. And that's the imprint that gave us like Transmetropolitan and before it moved to Vertigo, and some other book by Garth Ennis, I think. It might be Bloody Mary.
I'm trying to find if there is something else. Publisher that TTA Press owns it, but it's Interzone magazine.
Oh no, that's sounds like a short story or something.
They do have collection of short stories, and that's where Angel Baby came from.
Yeah.
Holy Christ.
No, the book I'm thinking of is Time Breakers. Yes, that's a real name.
Why? That sounds like a late 80s action flick, man.
Well, you'd be surprised to know that it came out in 1997. So there you go.
Oh my goodness.
I've never read it, but I know it exists because I was interested in the Helix imprint.
That is.
You gotta me.
Whoa. I really got to turn those off. Yep.
Are we having a malfunction?
Yes. Yes, we are. I will eventually turn those off. Time Breakers looks like a. Oh man, what is it that this is? I'm getting some X-Men vibes from that cover.
Interesting.
Most notably from the dude wearing the glasses. And I if you ask me to explain this, I'm not going to be able to. But there's something about the way that guy looks that just reminds me of right about the time where I stopped reading X-Men in the early to mid 90s.
I was thinking like a Cave Carson,
cybernetic
archaeology type of book or something, but I have no, I could be completely wrong. I have I've not, like I said, I've not read it, so I have no idea what this book is about, but I know it exists, and I know that Rachel Pollack wrote it. So there you go. You can check it out if you want.
Check it out if you want. Well, the way things were scheduled around here, we were going to have Rob read first, but it looks as though he was pulled away from the computer for a little bit. He does have a kid. It's more than likely. So I will. I'll go ahead and ask Brandon if you wouldn't mind to kick us off with Birds of Prey.
Sure thing. Yeah. Get to knock mine out early so I can just chill and not have to summarize for the rest of the show.
Right on.
All right. Birds of Prey number 10. Forgive me, I did not write down any of the credits, so now I gotta fish through the book to find them.
Damn it, I didn't write down any of the credits for y'all's books this week.
Yeah. Written by Kelly Thompson with art by Robbie Rodriguez and Gavin Guidry. Colors from Jordi Belair and letters from Clayton Cowles, and a book, I believe, or a cover, I believe, by Leonardo Romero and Jordi Belair. This is Worlds Without End, Part 2 of 5, which...
If you don't mind me interrupting you real quick, where do I know Leonardo Romero's work from? I know the name.
Well, I mean, he did the previous 6 issues of this book.
Oh, okay.
I would say, yeah, more famously, and I'm not sure how you would know this. That's not a diss. It's just, but he did a good majority of Kelly Thompson's run, illustrated, good majority of Kelly Thompson's run on Hawkeye. I say that because I'm like, we know you have your anti-Marvel bias. So I was like, if you read Hawkeye, I would be shocked.
No, I watched it. I don't know if that counts. That doesn't count. I didn't think so.
But yeah, no, that series is great. If you ever want to explore it.
Maybe. We'll have to see. Rob's back, but I did just ask Brandon to kick off Birds of Prey.
Okay.
Do you want to swap back, or shall we continue?
I mean, if you guys haven't started yet, I guess we could stick to our schedule. Sorry, I had to run.
Not a problem. All right, let's stick to the schedule then. Brandon, you don't get to go.
Well,
first.
never mind that. I guess.
But hey, now I'm curious. What series are you watching?
What series? Oh, we were talking. He said I asked where I might know Leonardo Romero from, and he said famously from
Ninja Turtles.
I
mean,
most famously from Hawkeye, and he's like, I know you didn't read that. I said, well, I watched it. Apparently that doesn't count.
Does not count.
It was either going to be Ninja Turtles or Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead for sure.
Yeah.
You mashed 2 people involved in both of those things together, and now you have Leonardo Romero.
Yeah. Dawn of the Turtles.
Dawn of the Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Dead.
Dawn of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Dead.
Well, now that sounds like one
Turtles?
of those Planet of the Apes movies. I don't know about that.
It does.
Yeah. Dawn of the
Ninja Turtle Dead.
Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes.
Oh no.
Dawn of the Planet of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How about that?
This is just JL Apes with extra steps.
Which see a universe where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles overthrow the Earth. I want to know how that would happen.
Can I ask? Because honestly, this is something I've always been curious about. Growing up, I was always aware of JL Apes, but I was not reading anything about it. I just saw the ads and I thought, oh, that's so funny and cool, right? But I need to know. And why? No, Josh, don't leave. I know you read it, Josh. Don't walk away from me.
The only one of us who can answer the question.
I need to know, was it good or was it bad? Because from what I understand, it was horrible.
Well, I thought that was like the secret to making a comic that people would buy. If you put a monkey or an ape or a gorilla on the cover, people will buy it.
Yeah.
So
clearly.
Why not make a whole book about them? And they're the Justice League.
Exactly. Joshua, don't walk away from me. Okay, no, I was about to ask the question, and you were the only one that could answer it. You walked away the worst possible
I'm
time.
sorry. I am so sorry. I had to go move my fan. I'm dying here.
No worries.
All right, what's the question?
Was JL Apes good or bad? Okay. I had a feeling. Feeling. You don't need to say no more. That's fine. I get it. Okay.
But
Now
hey,
that's out of the
take
way.
that
I was
with
always
a grain of
curious.
salt, because I mean, I haven't hid the whole disdain for gimmick comic books, so it automatically doesn't score high with me. It never has. However,
On the flip
you
side,
guys really loved, what was it, Justice League Dinosaurs or whatever the fuck,
Jurassic
League. So I mean, you could always check it out.
I might just, if they ever do a J Lapes compendium.
I
One of these
wouldn't
days,
hold
I'm
my
sure.
I
breath.
doubt that's ever going to happen. Honestly, you're not the first person I've heard from that says it's not good. So
Yeah, no,
probably not good.
probably not good.
I don't
They-
even
they-
really remember who wrote that.
They put out like a complete collection, did they not?
Did they? Oh, JLA.
They did, yeah. I like vaguely remember this from a couple of years ago. Actually, no, not a couple of years ago. This was like recently.
Oh damn!
I'm not even kidding.
I'll have to look that up and maybe buy it.
I'm putting this in the chat.
Oh
right
shit! You have
JLA, the complete collection.
now. So Rob,
$30.
someone wanted it.
$30.
You know, it's not too far-fetched.
$30
Oh shit!
for the whole collection.
Wow, it came out this year.
Yep.
Not even that long ago.
Yeah, I don't know
See,
why.
here I
thought it
was
weeks ago.
thinking that we'd seen like solicits or something for a new JL Apes, and no, it must have been this.
John
But,
Austrian.
all right,
That's fucking wild.
I
guess
say
it would've been Mark
Shazam, Shazam.
Rob's too distracted by JLA. We're gonna have to take
I
it.
am. I've always wondered, how do they discern the color of the fur? I guess the color of the hair.
Artist choice and color availability.
Well, no, I'm wondering why Wally and Arthur have like reddish fur when everybody else has black fur. But then I remember they have reddish hair.
That could be it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably
that sounds
okay.
sounds likely.
All right, that's on my to look for list. Okay, this is Shazam.
My last point, but I totally forgot that the Wally West, at least at this time, was like the weird alternate timeline Walter West.
Oh, was
it's
it?
Just a gorilla. Yeah, so it's just a gorilla in like that crappy like Walter West costume. I gotta find a panel of this somewhere. Hold up.
Oh, that's fantastic. The cobalt blue of Wally West.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You're gonna get a hoot out of this.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh dear God.
This looks so ridiculous. Oh my
I like
god.
the cover better. Sure, we're apes and we're proud of it. Oh my god. Okay. I might be regretting everything.
You know what? There's only one way to find out.
I don't want to spend $30 and hate it.
I can't think of
that's
a better way to spend
$30 American.
$30. Yeah.
You can't think of a better way to spend $30.
I can't think of a better way to spend $30.
You can't? I can.
I can't.
Right?
No.
The first volume of Skybound Transformers came out this week too.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like a better way to me. You can get that any old place. This is special.
Okay, so Pact, we're both doing it.
Packed. Yeah, sure.
You and I, we're both gonna get J Lake.
Oh my god. Am I agreeing to this? Yeah, I guess I gotta put my money where my mouth is.
Okay.
All right.
Next payday, I will find. I'll guess I'll order because I doubt any LCS is carrying.
Well, I'm gonna see how much this is going for on Amazon right now.
Yes.
Yeah. When I pulled up $30, that was right from Penguin Random House, so you could find it cheaper.
Oh yeah. With Prime, I could have it tomorrow for like $20.
Oh shit!
So,
all
right.
Look, I wonder if Canadian Amazon even has it because we don't always get good stuff. Not 25. It's on sale.
Boop boop. There you
wait,
go. It's not even 30.
Hang on. I'm on American Amazon. 1 second.
Oh shit! So it's gonna be like 40
30,
for you.
45. Yeah. JL Ape. Yeah, 35. But I could get it tomorrow.
Oh my God, I cannot get over this.
Which is
I cannot
also
get
on
over these
sale. It
costumes.
was 40. Yeah. Yeah. Of course it was Soliver. Of course Chuck Dixon is the lead author. Okay.
you can't read that. You can't read in that time frame without getting away, with getting away from the.
This just feels like the embodiment of. This feels like the embodiment of we thought this was a good idea at the time, and then we put it out and we're like, oh God, why?
It's the way you describe it is the embodiment of early 2000s comics.
Fucking
yeah.
It's like, that was a good idea at the time. Looking back, maybe not.
That era ended with the release of Identity Crisis. Let's face it.
It did.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, we're going to take a commercial break and be back with Rob and Billy. Oh, Billy.
And more JLA.
I think if we do more JLA, Josh is going to have a fit.
Well, I'm not going to have a fit. I'm just going to continue to shake my head. There's like I'd take it for free.
Yeah.
But I ain't spending $20 on that shit.
Oh man.
It would definitely go way underneath all of my other trades.
Way down at the bottom. After you'd read it?
Way down.
Or would you even read it?
In my to-read pile.
Your to-read pile.
Yeah.
Indefinitely.
Probably, because
Forever.
I would put Death of the Family, Blackest Night, and No Man's Land, and He-Man on top of that.
God. To-read pile. I have like a to-read shelf. I've been stockpiling like there's an apocalypse coming.
Most of my stuff is digital these days.
Mm.
It's like only the special stuff do I get to go to the LCS for. The stuff I have to put my fingers on.
Yeah.
And then of course I've got to go to. I can never remember the name of it, but I have come to lovingly refer to the old comic book shop as the Mildew. And like, hey babe, you want to go to the Mildew? She goes, yeah, let's go. And I love that place so much.
Yeah.
All right, number 12.
Oh, I didn't know we were back.
We're back. Yeah, it took a second.
Okay. So, this is Shazam number 12. It's Shazam. This is the finale of Moving Day. This is written by Josie Campbell with art from Mike Norton and Emanuela Lupacino, colors from Trish Mulvihill, and letters from Troy Pateri, with a beautiful cover from Dan Mora. Sorry, I need to see what the hell Brandon did for it. Oh my God.
I'm having too much fun. I feel like I'm slowly convincing myself to buy it.
You're still tripping on it. That's beautiful.
I don't know what I'm more confused about, Jay or Max. Yeah, I think you convinced me too. I need to buy it.
I think Jay is just confused. Max is leaning into it. Max is
He's
like,
just
yeah, we're
having
eight.
fun.
What about it? Yeah.
Fuck it. I've been worse. I've been weirder. This is nothing.
Surprisingly, Bart is the only one that looks kind of depressed about it.
Yeah. Okay. Back to Shazam.
Okay, no more.
So, you did say after the break more JLA. That's true. And you did not lie. There we go. Okay, so we're not picking up where we left off last issue, because at the end of last issue, if you remember, the CPS agents, if that's what they're called down there.
Yes.
Yeah? CPS. Okay.
Yeah, CPS.
CPS. Maybe it's just called something else up here, and I don't remember what it's called up here.
It's the same thing
Is
everywhere,
it?
even
well,
with
it's the
different
same
names.
thing, but I think it's got a different name.
Who cares?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So CPS agent revealed to Billy that his mom was there to see him, but we pick up well after that, and Billy's just kind of remembering all that. where his mind is now shattering from all the stress and emotion running through his mind. And now he's come face to face in his mind palace, i.e., otherwise known, possibly, potentially, the Rock of Eternity, face to face with the captain himself. So they have a brief discussion about what's going on. And the captain reveals to Billy that he's protecting him, but he cannot save from what, because if Billy finds out, he will just go after the truth and not listen to anything the captain has to say anyway. Though Billy does want to know why the hell the captain's burning all these letters from his mother. So Billy makes his escape as the captain is shouting after him that if you do this, the magical leak in the Rock Fraternity will grow worse, but Billy can't hear that because he's already taken off. As he sneaks out of the Velasquez house, Mary catches him and decides that herself and Freddie are going to drive him to see his mother, because that's exactly where he was going to go anyway. So they head there, and they have a very awkward confrontation. Meanwhile, the rest of the family, or at least the other kids, Pedro, Darla, and Eugene, get teleported by Hoppy to the Rock Fraternity, where they find the captain trapped in Rock, where Billy left him. And he reveals that the magical leak is Billy, that through all of this stress and his connection to the Rock Fraternity, Billy is causing cracks in the Rock Fraternity, and that is leaking magic and monsters all over the place. The more stress he feels, the worse the leak gets, which is pretty fucking bad that he's now gone to see his estranged mother. So now the three kids are sitting with Billy's mom as Mary kind of nudges very hard at Freddie that they should go to the washroom and leave the two of them alone. Meanwhile, while they're doing that, Mary wants to snoop around and figure out why the captain is burning Billy's letters and find out if there's something going on that the captain does not want Billy to know. So while Billy and his mom are having a conversation, and Billy's mom is kind of explaining a bit about her past, and after CPS took him away from her, she had a lot of growing up to do, and she spent every day missing him and got herself together. And around that time, the truth is revealed to everybody involved. Mary and Freddie stumble upon a room that reveals something shocking. The captain also reveals a bit of info to Darla and Hoppy and Eugene and Pedro at the same time, as we see a little boy running into the house, into the same room that Billy and his mom are, and shouts out, "Mommy," as Billy then looks behind him at a photo of his mom with another man and this same child. And clearly she has a new family. So Billy storms off. Freddie and Mary take after him. Billy obviously upset, and I think for very good reason, talking about how she has changed and she has a new family and a new kid, and they're so happy together and such a good mom for him, but she couldn't have even been there for him. And this is when the leak in the Rock Fraternity cracks open and magical leaks pop up all over Philadelphia. So magical monsters are now popping up all over the city, and the captain instantly pops into the Shazam, or says Shazam. Oh my god, I got that backwards. Billy pops into the captain by saying Shazam is what I meant to say. And the captain is doing what he can to take out the monsters, but realizes only one way to save the day, and that's to take the Rock Fraternity out of this plane of existence. So he grabs the rock out of the Velasquez house and pushes it off into space, but he needs to go with it. And with that, Billy is also gone, and that is where our issue ends. It's a hell of a reveal.
Holy shit, indeed it is.
Yeah. This is the Shazam book we've all been waiting for, I think. A lot of emotion, a lot of raw emotion. We're getting to the bare bones of a lot of shit that's going on. What's going on with the captain and Billy? It's just a lot of reveals here, a lot of story here. was really fucking good. The art was fantastic throughout. I got to point that out right away. The art was really good. Just getting the emotion on everyone's face. If you had no words, you'd have a good grasp of what was going on. Anyway, just by the expressions on people's faces. As for the actual story, though, fucking didn't expect any of that. It's such a classic trope, but it fits this so well. New family, and Billy's just in a downward spiral that the only way to get him out of it is his new family, but that's if they can even find him now. It's nice to see that the captain has kind of taken on a big brother role to Billy, and he's not the supposed villain we might have thought he was. So that's good to see. All in all, I'm giving this an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice. Josh, how about you?
Oh, dude. I really fucking like that cover, not just because it's Mora's art, but the concept behind the art is really cool too. As far as inside the book goes, I think it's a great development for the story, and it gives us why things are going the way they are, which is, as of right now, Billy and the captain are gone and might not be back. Apparently, the wizard didn't know some stuff when he gave Billy Shazam, and it looks like Zeus attaching the Rock of Eternity to their house may have only made things worse in the long run. But man, just what a crazy good issue of Shazam. Not just the story, but also Norton, Lupacino, and Mulvihill made the story gorgeous to look at. It was great and nearly faultless. Shazam number 12 got a 9 out of 10.
Right on.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. Solid stuff. The only kind of minor gripe I have, it's just my personal taste, but I've not been a fan since they kind of had this retcon of Billy's origin. But I've never been a fan of the whole, like, Billy's parents abandoned him because they like didn't love him or something, and they're still kind of keeping that storyline going of, oh, Billy's mom didn't want him, but now she wants him back. And I don't know. I just kind of prefer that they were archaeologists who died and were killed by Dr. Savannah. I know that sounds more grim, but
no, but I do get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I've never loved that part of his origin, or that reinterpretation of his origin.
But I would also say to that end that I don't feel like, and this is just getting expositional now, but I don't feel like his mom didn't give him up because she didn't love him. She gave him up because she was all fucked up. And now she thinks she's his answer for everything. And that's where the mistake happens.
Yeah, but I'm also not a fan of that either. Like that were they criminals or something, or drug users? I
got the feeling that it was likely drugs, though it's not.
Yeah,
it's not explicitly stated.
Because I remember in the previous run, it was like his dad used to be a con man or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was Jeff Johns that did that.
Yeah, because I guess them being archaeologists is too unrealistic. No one is an archaeologist
except Hawkman
of the world. Yeah, they don't exist in the 21st century.
Or is he an alien? Or is he an Egyptian prince?
Oh my god!
I mean, in all of it, he's an archaeologist.
Well, if he's an alien, then yeah, it's believable. If he's an archaeologist, no, because no one does that.
No one is an archaeologist. Period.
What
we
have is an archaeologist?
We have never explored the pyramids.
I don't even know.
Look, guys,
what are dinosaurs?
Yeah, I had an advisor who was an archaeologist, and I was like, "That's a made-up word."
That's not real. So are dinosaurs.
What do you really
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, museums? Exactly. What's a museum?
Yeah,
it's a great place where they put together those skeleton puzzles.
What's a skeleton?
Oh, for Christ's sake! Okay, that got too far.
Everything else in the issue I really enjoyed, and like you said, the art from Lupacino and Mike Norton is pretty great.
Hell yeah!
Also, very small, like, Easter egg. I don't even know if you call it an Easter. I guess technically kind of an Easter egg, but there's a van that gets kind of chucked to the side in one of the panels while like everything is going to shit after the Rock of Eternity is splitting open, and the van has like a little like an old man on it. And I didn't really notice it at first, but going through the issue again while Rob was describing it, I was like, is that the old version of the Wizard? It could just be some random guy. But like I looked at it and I was like, now that I'm looking at it again, that looks like the way the Wizard originally looked.
On the side of the van?
Yeah.
Let me take a look.
Not of the Shaz van, right? Of the other one. That guy.
No, the other one.
Oh no, it is the Shaz van, and hell yeah, that's the original Wiz.
Yeah, that's the. I was like,
hell yeah!
Oh my god!
Oh shit! So it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not notice that at first, but it just kind of clicked in my brain.
Right.
I didn't even freaking notice it either. That's crazy. That's cool though. Yeah. I would definitely call that an Easter egg. Definitely. Did you give a score, Brandon?
Yeah, I said 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. All right. Well, now that we're all done squawking about Shazam, shall we move on to our next book?
Rim Shot.
Okay.
The bird. It wasn't that funny.
But it was a damn good transition.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's why you're the man. Well, I guess I don't have to give another introduction because I already did it, and then we went back to Shazam. So I'm just going to go straight into the story. If you want to know who wrote this book, listen to the earlier part of this show.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it again. You only get it once.
Jeez. Everybody gets one.
You only get it once. No. Once again, this is Birds of Prey, number 10, written by Kelly Thompson, with art by Robbie Rodriguez and Gavin Guidry, colors from Jordi Belair, and letters from Clayton Cowles, with a cover by Leonardo Romero and Jordi Belair. The birds have teleported to another new location, and they're wondering if it's an entirely different world or if it's just the same place. And as they're stepping through the portal, Barda is attacked through the chest by some mysterious black substance. She gets knocked over because of that. And that's when they run into a mysterious woman named Sheila, who is able to blast off the strange entity that had been chasing them from the previous issue before trying to lead them to a safe location somewhere else. And that's when Sheila kind of reveals the nature of this place, in that it's not a separate world, but is in fact the same world, just with a kind of different texture applied over it, a different skin. As they say, as if it were a video game where it's kind of like reskinned itself. So this version basically molded itself to Barda's personality because she was the first person through the portal. And so it naturally adapted itself to her, I guess, inner desires. But they take Barda to one of the houses where she immediately keels over. And that's when Sheila notes that she is possessed by her sister Maya and doesn't have much time left. And basically we get a bunch of backstory about Sheila, as well as her sisters, who she reveals have been attacked by her other sister Maya. And then we get the full backstory on her whole family, how she was born into a family of septuplets, and how they all were named after constellations and also got powers. It's a very weird origin.
Well, the Seven Sisters is one constellation. They were all named after the stars inside that.
Oh, right. Yeah, that. Yes. Well, you know astronomy. I don't know astronomy. I failed.
It was
that
one
class.
of my favorite classes. Really? Oh man.
I did not. Well, I also didn't put in any effort, so that's probably why.
Oh, you know that may have something to do.
Yeah. Well, no. So they're not named after constellations. They're named after stars that compose a single constellation. So excuse me, I was wrong. But the gist of it is basically that one of the sisters, Ali, who I guess is named after the star Alcyone, is that right?
Yes.
Created their own like pocket dimension that is the one that the birds are currently in right now. And that world kind of became their paradise, but also became their refuge after their mother died, and their father, I don't know, just disappeared or something. And in the aftermath of that tragedy, one of the sisters, Maya, mentioned previously, kind of went crazy and started killing off all the other sisters in order to gain their powers as well. So she's managed to kill everyone except Sheila, and she's kind of just holding out, hoping she can escape from this dimension at some point and escape her sister as well. But the reason that the birds have been brought here, which is kind of what Dinah is wondering, is because at some point in the future, according to Sheila, Barbara Gordon will kill her mother, and that will kind of lead to the domino effect of her sister going crazy and killing everyone. That's when we cut over to Barbara, who is somewhere else in this mysterious pocket world that they have. And she is able to quickly deduce that it's probably the same world, just again reskinned, as she puts it, but figures out that any devices that were changed or reskinned would still maintain the same properties as they had before, so she can
just like a video game.
So she can still use them as they were originally designed to be used. But we cut back to the birds, where Barda is slowly becoming more and more infected until eventually it seems like she's completely overtaken by the mysterious influence of Maya and lashes out at the birds. Dinah is telling them to run, or specifically is telling Cass to run after they kind of try and hold her off, but are unsuccessful in doing so. But Cass decides to stay there and is able to kind of talk to Barda to calm her down, and also hopefully give her a little help to overcome the influence of Maya. And she's able to do so because Barda is a freaking strong-ass new god. She can handle anything. But in doing so, they kind of trigger the arrival of Sheila's sister, Maya, who is, coming to kill the rest of them. And they're able to escape, but still have Maya after them in the meantime. And that's sort of where the story ends. So yeah. How did you guys feel about this one?
It was fun. Not fun. Kind of dark.
Yeah. I say honestly, wow.
Yeah. I honestly didn't know what to expect going into this because the story's been kind of off the rails. It's been going on any direction you could even imagine.
Yeah.
And not imagine. So I'm just enjoying the ride while I have it.
Right.
Because I got nothing. I have no idea where this is going. I have even less idea where this is going to go than The Outsiders. But I'm loving it though. It's a very, very interesting story. I had to look up what was it? Scarlet Tiger or something like that?
Or Crimson Tiger or something
Crimson
like
Tiger, yeah. I had to look up the character, long-standing character. If I remember right, hasn't been seen since the early 2000s in Wonder Woman. So a bit of a deep cut, realistically, but very interesting. First time with this last name, though, from what I understand. So definitely adding to this character as well that we haven't seen in God knows how long, and technically we still haven't seen her. So remains to be seen if this character will even show up. I'm curious where Barbara is. But I also love that aspect that Barbara, being a bat, was able to deduce almost right away the exact same thing that the rest of the birds had to get explained to them, which was perfect just by holding a staff. It was great. Kelly Thompson is such a way with these characters. It honestly giving fresh voices while retaining the classic styles we know about all these characters in such a great fashion. I hope this book goes on for a long ass time because it's just a thrill ride. It's getting a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
I feel like, excuse me. I feel like this issue made the last issue make a lot more sense with Evil Demon Dragon Babs. Now we know why something like that was going on. This whole reskinning thing and the whole deal about the constellation of the Seven Sisters, I think it's all a really cool idea. And it makes sense that a kid would come up with a pocket dimension that does mirror something like a video game. I think this is a great showcase that Barda is not just brawn, but she's also very, very strong in the mind as well, and apparently has a thing for the 50s. The art is great. It's really good, and I'm still really digging this amazing run of the Birds of Prey. There's still 3 more parts to this arc. I'm loving it. To borrow from Barda's preferred time period, this sure is keen, Daddy-O. 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
Right on.
Yeah, no, 8.25 out of 10. I think the only thing that was kind of holding it back for me is just it was a very exposition heavy issue. And it really just had like that whole 4 or 5 pages that was just info dump, and I was like, oh god, it's like so much to take in, which sometimes is fine because it's an interesting concept. So it's not like I don't care, but I was just like, if you could find a way to kind of break it up with something, that would be nice. But the moment with Barda kind of overcoming Maya's influence is really nice, and the moment that Rob mentioned with Barbara quickly deducing what this world was and how it operated was also really cool. So Kelly Thompson has a great understanding of the characters, knows how to keep them interesting and in interesting scenarios. So that stuff I still really like, just that whole like just really really lengthy exposition on Sheila's family and all that stuff was kind of that kind of threw me for a second. But other than that, pretty solid issue. So
8.25 out of 10.
Yeah.
Right on. I have been itching to talk about this next book for quite some time.
I bet.
I got Poison Ivy number 23.
Oh, that one went completely over my head. I also forgot which book was that.
All right, Poison Ivy number 23. Written by glorious Willow Wilson, art from Haining, colors from Arif Prianto, and Hassan Asmani Al-How did the letters. And of course, Jessica Fong brought us that delicious cover. And this is going to sound crazy, and I might get Brandon's mouth to drop open, but she has now surpassed both Jorge Jimenez and Dan Mora as my favorite cover artist. The mouth didn't drop open. Yeah, especially those two people. Yeah. But the book we pick up in the shack in Slaughter Swamp, where we last left off, with Ivy sacrificing herself to the Lamia infected in order to save everyone by way of being eaten alive. And things aren't looking so good in the shack either. Janet from HR wants to go save Ivy, but that sentiment gets squashed nearly immediately when the infected burst through the door that Grundy was holding closed. The infected have pretty much eaten all of Woodrue, and they've been gobbling up Ivy too. She's looking pretty rough and a little snacked on so far. She's feeling despondent, but that's when all hell breaks loose. I said that wrong. I'm sorry. That's when all Harley breaks loose. She shows up in a vehicle all Harley'd out, and to be honest with you, whatever the hell she's driving reminds me a little bit of the Batmobile from Death Metal, just Harlified. So Harley and her trusty giant mallet squish, and I mean literally squish, a whole bunch of the infected to death. And then Janet hollers from the shack for help. Harley still hasn't found Ivy yet, so she says you're gonna have to wait your turn. Then she hears Ivy call out to her. She finds her, but it turns out that Ivy was only calling out to her to tell her to just let this happen. That them eating her is the only way to truly be rid of Woodrue. Ivy says, I love you, and then finally succumbs to the dinner table? Well, not quite, but she's been surrounded, or more accurately, engulfed. And that's when, crap. Oh, well. Blue flower face dude from earlier in the run, the one that had the building that came to life after trying to make self-healing steel. He shows up.
Less creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. At least as far as we know so far. But he shows up. He says that there's still a way to save Ivy, and then he tells her to go get the people in the shack. The people being Croc, Grundy, and Janet from HR. Janet from HR, who is really feeling her side quest status right now. They all rush off to go save Ivy while Blue Flower Face Dude, God, that is so hard to say, holds Woodrow in check.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
No. Something messed up. We'll come out of that. But so they go save Ivy while he holds Woodrow off. They manage to peel her out of safety, but she's nearly dead. That's when Red Hood shows up to help out and say Batman started pumping the antidote into the water supply. Harley steals Jason's bike and uses the flamethrowers on it to kill the rest of the infected. And Ivy can feel every single part of it. Woodrow is dead. He's gone. All that's left of him is a skull. And then the issue closes with Harley howling out, crying because Ivy is dead too. Holy shit. I mean, holy shit. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, I guess start with the art, which is always just so fitting for this title. It doesn't matter if it really doesn't matter if it's Heining or Takara that's drawing this. It's always gorgeous, and their art is very similar. The crazy parts look crazy, while all the rest of it looks very finely drawn. It's just great. As far as the story goes, I honestly can't remember a run in all of the comics that has had me so hooked on every single issue and every single page turn. From 1 to 23, this has been like no other book from DC in the last 2 years, maybe longer. It's simply one of the greatest series released in recent years. There's just no other way to say that. Emotional, amazing plot and plot twists, awesome character work, amazing action scenes. This series literally has it all, and this issue in particular is just stellar. Aside from a few panels where I wasn't such a fan of, literally just a few, like there was one where Grundy wasn't colored gray. I have to give this a 9.25 out of 10.
Right on. Yeah, I can.
I just want to add here, if you change Grundy's skin to a normal color, if you take the gray away, he's a pretty good looking guy.
Never would have imagined you'd say that, but all right.
I can't, and take this with a grain of salt. Take this however you will. The Wiggles sing the OG Solomon Grundy song, and every time I see that, because my daughter loves the Wiggles, I have to double take. Is she watching Justice League? What is going on? I need to. What the fuck? Why is she watching something about a zombie? Oh, never mind.
They sing the Solomon Grundy song on the Wiggles?
Yes.
Born on a Monday, died on... For real?
Oh.
Yeah. But very upbeat and happy.
Very happy songs about being born and dying in a infant. That's...
Yeah, I think they alter the lyrics a little bit. They don't talk about him dying and whatnot. But they go through most of it. I think they skip over the weekend.
Well, I mean, his songs aren't that great to begin with.
Yeah. Anyway, Poison Ivy's fucking I don't know what else to say.
That was for me. Shut up.
I think I missed I must have missed the joke. I did.
He said skipped over the weekend, and I said his music wasn't the greatest anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, those dad jokes are stellar.
You can go fuck yourself.
I didn't really mean it, but it was an excellent joke.
Fair enough. Okay, stop train thoughting because I was thinking about something else about the weekend. So there was some sitcom that had a whole bit about the weekend. I don't remember what it was now, but I don't know what else to say about Poison Ivy that Josh hasn't already said. It has been stellar throughout the entire run. Runaway hit of the decade, I must say, so far. You can never go wrong picking up an issue of Poison Ivy. It is just fucking fantastic. This story, it really feels like it's coming to a head. We're close to issue 24, marking 2 years since the book released. I hope it doesn't end in issue 24 because it definitely has that vibe, like the story's coming to a close. I hope it's not over. I feel like even if the whole thing with the Lamia spores, granted it's run for 24 issues, just dealing with the Lamia spores, that's a hell of a run for just that. There's a lot more story to come with Poison Ivy, especially with Janet from HR.
No, it's going to be interesting to see where that goes because Janet from HR almost spilled all of her Ivy beans.
Yeah, we've yet to see the fully fledged throuple.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll happen, but
it's not a throuple yet.
Well, there was that. I thought there was that issue where Harley was like trying to flirt and maybe kissed with Janet.
Her and Janet have kissed,
him.
but Harley doesn't know the how do I want to say that?
Harley doesn't know that Ivy and Janet have done something, and Ivy doesn't know that Harley and Janet have done something.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Janet's the only one that knows that she's done anything with either of them.
Well, that's awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can be.
Yeah. Yeah. When that eventually comes to light, I am very curious to see what happens to Janet from HR. Also, I love that her last name is just from HR.
Maybe one of these days we'll actually learn her real last name.
I fucking hope not.
No, Janet from HR is perfect.
Yes.
Nickname SideQuest.
Right?
God.
And then when they start breaking the fourth wall, her name is going to get changed to MetaQuest. You're welcome.
I don't want to talk about Batman anymore. I'm ending the show here.
Yeah.
Well, if it helps at all, I've got no dad jokes for Batman number 148. None. He wants to record this.
No, I was making sure they were actually on 148. You weren't just pulling a fast one.
Oh, dang! You trust me as much as Dash.
Hey, you pulled a fast one on me the other day when you were like, "Is which of these three images is actually Rob Liefeld? Which two were AI?" And they were all fucking AI, and I genuinely couldn't tell.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, I could tell.
With the exception of the one where the gun was attached to his knee.
Yeah, there were two that were blatantly AI, and there was one that was like, it definitely had some AI tendencies to it, but there were also some that was like, yeah, this does actually kind of look like it's from a comic panel. I couldn't see the feet. It was grainy. Yep. The colors were right. That's all I needed.
It was literally Deadpool with shitty feet, and it even had an artist scribble over on the side that I didn't.
It had
you're talking about the Deadpool images, because the other ones that you sent of these are all Liefeld. I was like 100% certain that those were not AI generated.
No, the ones that I sent where I said they were Liefeld, they definitely were. Yeah.
Okay, I was 100%. Like, I was about to freak out. I was like, Are you serious?
Yeah.
No way.
Is it even? It had like 3 images that were all AI generated.
Yeah, it would have freaked me out because like it had the era specific coloring and everything, and I was like, if that was a forgery, I would need to like reevaluate everything I know. That would be like literally it had like every aspect of those photos was like, no, this is too real not to be fake.
My biggest regret is how cocky I went into it. I was like, Josh, this isn't as hard as you think it is. And then he told me the trailer. I felt like such a fool.
Well, I've
I
been
was
there
just like
before.
that creator signature is like it doesn't quite look like Liefeld's, but it's gotta be. Like,
yeah, the Deadpool ones were I don't know. I thought those were kind of a dead giveaway because those did not look like Liefeld at all.
Yeah. That was an eye-opening time for Isaiah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He's like, why the fuck?
Why are there so many pouches?
Right. we were exposing Isaiah to 90s comic books.
Oh my god, that's I
Fucking
wish I'd
blues,
been
man.
there. That's
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I even got
Right
to
up my
bring
alley.
up Justice League Extreme for crying out loud, and there were
Yeah.
multiple pictures of.
I
Cable.
have like an embarrassing number of like 90s Image comics, like the worst. The bottom of the barrel, the birdcage liner, the schlop.
The
Whoa,
birdcage liner.
Because I don't know, I see them and I'm just like, this is so bad. I have to have it.
No, easy now. They weren't all shit.
That's
where-
they're not all JL Ape.
That's where I got my Wildcats. That's where I got Youngblood. That's where I got
What, Pitt?
Pitt
We
and
can go
Max.
on. There's so many. There's Pitt, there's Max, there's early Stormwatch, Supreme,
But-
Wetworks. Wetworks.
Oh God, Wetworks was good. But for every single good one, there
Blood Wolf. Oh God, Blood Wolf. Rob, do you know about the incredible masterpiece that is Blood Wolf?
I've heard of it.
I need to show this to you. I need you to
just so that you know.
bask in the glory.
What was the one that Vin Diesel played? Was that Bloodshot?
That's
Yeah,
Bloodshot.
Yeah.
and I still have not seen that movie.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I
Oh,
won't
God.
see that movie.
This is Blood Wolf?
This is Blood Wolf.
Wait, where did you send it? I'm just CJL Apes.
This is in comics.
Oh, okay. What the fuck is that?
This is real. This is a real thing.
Jim Lee, he stands kid, right? What? Of course, this is. I should have known this is Liefeld without seeing the signature because there's no feet. There's bullet casings all over the ground.
And his thighs are like the size of massive columns.
And they're littered in pouches.
Yeah.
Is he even a wolf?
I wish I could say. I don't even know. I wish I knew.
What? What the fuck is this?
It's fucking Blood Wolf.
There's another one I can't.
Like I said,
right
for
now.
every one that's
Yeah.
awesome, there's 1 to 2.
Oh, there's
That's
so many.
you know
terrible
what,
ones.
Brandon? I'm having a hard time. There were really good books, and then there were really shit books. But can you think of a mid book that they put out?
There are a couple.
Where would you classify Savage Dragon?
No, Savage Dragon is good. Savage
Yeah.
Dragon is like the one exception. Savage Dragon and people give it a lot of shit. Early Spawn is not that bad. The
No,
writing
I
is not
like
good,
Early
but
Spawn.
I don't know. I think it's better than a lot of people give it credit for. It's crazy, but it's not bad, and the art is incredible.
And it was
Savage
one of the
Dragon's
best comic
probably
book
the
movies in the 90s.
Yeah. Maybe like Shadowhawk is okay. I honestly I can't
You know
tell
what?
because I
Yeah.
read the first Shadowhawk miniseries and I couldn't tell if it was like supposed to be a parody or if it was genuine. It rides the line because it feels so absurd in like, you know, Shadowhawk is like this bloody, lethal street level vigilante,
Mhm.
but it's playing it up to the point where it feels like it's a joke, or Valentino is joking, and maybe that could also just be his cartooning style because I feel like his style is usually kind of that underground kind of jokey cartoony style.
Mhm.
But But yeah, I don't know. That's one I would kind of call like mid.
Yeah, Shadowhawk and Shadowhawk too. Now that you mentioned Shadowhawk, that complete. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Image had a mid book.
Shadowhawk, maybe. I can't remember the name right now. I gotta look it up. But there's another one by Jerry Ordway.
I keep on wanting to say Blood Wind, but that's DC. It just reminds me of
there is a Blood Strike.
Oh yeah, Blood Strike.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Why not?
What? That should be a pub quiz. Like,
how many
name as many comic book characters from the 90s with blood in the name.
Oh man, dude.
As many as they could fit.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's that trick question of Bloodsport, or Blood Work.
Blood Work.
That's from the 2010s.
Flash character.
Yeah.
Wildstar, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, that one's just okay.
I hate how sometimes when you share a link in Discord, it doesn't pop up with the preview.
Grim?
Yes. Probably nothing that y'all would be interested in. Maybe.
Looks like a TV show.
It was a TV show, but this is the comic books. I've got 1 and 2, but I haven't been able to find any other issues in the LCSs near me. So,
well, I mean, it looks like there was only 2 issues.
No, those are trades. It's 1 through 5, and then 6 through 12.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Now I have that link in there. Say again.
Wait,
cheap.
I know. I just got to save it.
Oh yeah. What does that have to do with the image? Did I miss something? Sorry.
No. Well, thinking of just it made me start thinking of like Shadowhawk.
Oh.
I don't like that ringtone.
That
ringtone is in every fucking horror movie ever made.
Oh my god.
I hate that ringtone. I hate it so much. No, it just started. I started thinking about series I may have forgotten, and Grimm popped into my head as one I wanted to collect after I couldn't remember Shadowhawk. My brain's like that. It's a fucking spiderweb.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
I swear to God, if someone pops in a VHS tape.
7 days.
Oh, man.
Just think of Scary Movie 3 and everything will be fine.
Right? Yeah.
The last good Scary Movie.
This is... Actually, I'll show you this one. This is issue number 2. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay, yeah.
But the 2 main characters, this one, his name is Nick, and I'm completely forgetting what his real name is right now.
Grimm.
But he voiced, Nick Grimm is his name. But he has voiced Batman a couple of different times. And then if you notice the girl who plays his wife here, that's Bitsy Tulloch from Superman and Lois.
Oh shit! Okay,
nice.
Now all of it revolves around like old Grimm's fairy tales, and every episode starts out with like a line from one of them that describes what's going to happen in the show. It was fun for me.
An interesting show. Yeah.
Oh, did you watch it?
I watched a few episodes when it started, but I never really had access to TV, so I didn't watch it.
I recently went through and watched all 6 seasons here not too long ago. I didn't like super binge them, but a couple episodes a night. But guys, we've got one more book to go. I feel like we might as well get that out of the way, huh?
Yeah. 9 out of 10 Poison Ivy. Brandon, did you give your review?
Oh,
yes,
you did. Okay, sorry, I couldn't remember. All right, yeah. So we do have one more book to go. We may as well get through it.
Hell yeah.
While we're not going in another tangent, this is Batman number 148, which Josh promises he has no dad jokes about. I'm holding you to that.
You go ahead.
This is Batman versus Batman. There can only be one. Cue Thunderbolt.
Nope. But cue the Highlander series.
There you go. Highlander, the series. Back when TV shows had to be called the series.
The series.
Yeah. This is The Storm. This is written by Chip Zdarsky with art from Jorge Jimenez, colors from Tomamori, and letters from Clayton Cowles. We open up on a flashback of a young Bruce back when he's training with, oh my god, I forgot his freaking name. Jeez. Captio. Daniel Captio. And Daniel just explaining the whole process and what the benefit is of harnessing the power of your mind and creating alternate personalities and what's the word I'm trying to think of? Fracturing your mind in a way. And he's giving him the tools to not only stop the storm but become a storm. And that is when we jump back to the present. Tim is spelunking into a cave where Bruce is holed up, basically building a new Bat Cave. It just turns to Tim and says, "Call the family, it's time." We then see Damian with the Zur-En-Arrh Robin, as Damian is found doing some Morse code through a hidden listening device, potentially. But the Zur-En-Arrh failsafe Batman gives him electric shock and fries any electronics hidden inside the costume. The cops, meanwhile, Vandal Savage is on the phone with Mayor Nakano, and they are he is amassing an army of cops, is what I was trying to say, straight to Blackgate Prison to try and stop what's going on. They do know that various members of the Bat family, the Batgirls and Signal specifically, are doing what they can to help the city, and they're just going to let them because they need all the help they can get. We then get a brief reprise at the continuation of the backup we had last issue. Nigma is now connected to the giant machine that we saw at the end of his backup story, and this whole thing is supposed to, what we didn't know at the time, use Batman's mind through Zur-En-Arrh and basically inserts a version of Batman into a villain's mind and be the voice in their head that prevents them from committing crimes.
It kind of reminds me of do you remember that arc in Tynan's Detective Comics where Azrael starts like flipping out again because his programming is going evil and they have to like rework his programming with Batman programming?
Yep.
Was the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah,
I
wild
thought
stuff.
that was a good time. Just a side note there. I enjoyed that shit. Anyway, now that I've done interrupted.
Wait, that story or that run?
That story.
Okay.
Not the run.
Because you shit talk time to comics
hate
enough.
that run for very unfair reasons.
Unknown reasons. I say unknown because I still don't get it. I understand hating Night of the Monstermen, but I don't understand hating the rest of it. Anywho, they have used their machine on Nigma, and we have yet to see by the end of the issue what that means. Meanwhile, Bruce has brought the family together. Barbara, Dick, and even Jason have all arrived with Tim, as Bruce is now unveiling his new bat armor, which is kind of dope. They have a nice family reunion, lay it all out on the table. Bygones be bygones. Bruce admits that any doubts he had and any fears he had and any times he was a little too much, that was just Zur-En-Arrh invading his mind and pushing everyone away. And now that Zur-En-Arrh is out, he is a better Bruce. He's a better father. He is a better Batman. He can never make up for what he's done, but he's going to start now, however he can, as a family. And they all accept that. and decide that
convenient excuse.
Really, eh?
Oh yeah, it was Zur the whole time.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
The other guy being a dick.
Yeah.
So with that, they all accept that for now and hope that Bruce will be able to prove himself going forward, which would be good. And we'll see what comes of that. They will keep a close watch on that. So now they all get suited up and head out as a family. Bruce, they have their own missions. Excuse me. Barbara is running point as Oracle, running comms rather as Oracle. Dick and Jason are infiltrating Blackgate through, I'm assuming, is the sewer systems together to cause some sort of distraction. Tim is scaling up a wall to find Damien, and Bruce, in his new bat suit, is heading straight in the front fucking door, right in front of all the cops, in a scene that, to me, is very reminiscent of the Arkham games, and I can't stop staring at it. It is so fucking cool. So he walks right in the front door, heads straight for Failsafe, who now has various other villains tied to his machine. And he just monologues a bit because he's the villain of the piece. But as Bruce is internally monologuing to us through text boxes that Zur knows all his moves and knows everything he's going to do, there's one thing he doesn't have, and that's the best damn fighters in the world as a family. This is when Red Hood shows up and lays a smackdown on Failsafe. Together with Bruce, they attack as a unit, which is something that they had not done before because the extended Bat family took him on solo. So that's not working this time. Meanwhile, Dick has gone into the server room to get Oracle a bit more of a connection into the servers to shut down security and take down the experiment. Tim has now found Damien, and he has his own new suit, which I want to know what you guys think. I don't like it.
With whose news? I'm sorry, whose?
Tim's new suit. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
Not a fan.
Not a huge fan.
It's awkward.
It's too much black.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
I don't get it. The mask is good. I don't get the rest of it. But
no.
I digress. We then find out through Tim that this Zur-En-Arrh Robin isn't a clone of Damien, which we initially thought is actually a clone of Bruce. So a very young Bruce with all of the Batman saved up and stored, and none of the dead parents. So full combat, no remorse.
Right.
So now Tim and Robin, I guess Robin versus Robin, Zur Robin and Tim Robin are going hand to hand against each other and duking it out to save Damien. At one point, Tim throws a Robin-Arang. I don't know if you guys ever called it that, but I always did. And pretends to be going after Zur Robin, but misses and instead frees Damien. And now it's Robin and Robin versus Robin. And of course, Robin gets the upper hand. Robin wins. Yay. Damien.
Right?
Robin.
Yeah. Robin.
None of them.
Meanwhile, with Failsafe, Failsafe has Bruce tied up in some wires coming out of his fingers, and Jason is doing what he can to fight back. But Zur has the upper hand there. Bruce tells Jason to go after Captio, and Captio is able to, actually, for an old guy, fight pretty fucking well against Jason. Failsafe gets a bit of an upper hand on Bruce. Jason is not going to let anything bad happen to him, and Zur uppercuts him right in the face, shattering his mask and potentially killing him.
Killing him.
Yeah. Bruce runs over to his side and sees Jason dead yet again. Bruce begins to weep over his body, but this is when Failsafe reactivates, because Failsafe's programming, which can never be stopped, is that if Batman takes a life, he must stop Batman. And since Zur-En-Arr is in Failsafe's body, Failsafe takes over Zur's programming, and this leaves the body open for Bruce to put an end to it using the mind. The memories he had from Zur, he was able to ascertain, since Zur built Failsafe, he was able to ascertain a way to shut Failsafe off. And now that he has his opening, he's able to do that. Captio's trying to figure out what the fuck just happened, and Bruce does reveal a bit of his plan, but then Captio activates one of his own trigger phrases that he instilled in Bruce's mind way back when they were training, which just takes down Bruce once and for all. And then Bruce just starts laughing, because then we get another flashback back at the cave when they're planning. Bruce has a bit of Lazarus fluid left, and he was going to administer it into his own suits. So if he were to die, it would be brought back to life. But as Jason reminds him, look, the only person that can take down Failsafe and has the knowledge to take down Failsafe is you. And if you're dead, who's going to do that? So let me take the shot, because I've been dead. I know what I'm doing. Bruce didn't like that at first, but Jason convinces him and says, hey, we're family. We're equals now. We can do this. And at that point, Captio turns around, and not only is Jason back on his feet, but all the other Robins, yes, including Dick, Josh, the other Robins are there. Yes. And now the family is together. They take down Captio. Damian and Bruce have a nice hug it out moment. Happy to see each other again. And this is when Blackgate is beginning to fall apart. Captio sees Bruce, and Bruce reminds him that we're the Storm, as the 5 boys all head out together, Batman and his Robins. That's the end of the issue and the end of the story. And my God, was this cinematic as fuck. The layouts, like, I'm not even, at this point, it's all Dan Mora, because he's had these cinematic views to his art style with a lot of writers, but it is very heavy with Chip Zdarsky. It's all laid out like a fucking movie for me when I'm reading this, and it was fantastic. This really was the final battle of the piece. This was Act 3. This is coming to a head, and it really had that gravitas to it. It really felt good. I am surprised that they took down Failsafe, because Failsafe is supposed to be a big part of Absolute Power. So I suspect he's not gone yet.
Failsafe's programming can never end.
Yeah. The programming can never end, but he shut down the body. And Waller, throughout this, didn't really get along well with Zur-En-Arr.
That's true. So. But you're talking about a robot with the super consciousness and internet access.
Yeah. So we'll survive. See. We'll see. There's definitely more to come, I imagine. But this issue I thought was fan-freaking-tastic. It had a lot of heart. It had a lot of family moments. It brought the Bat family back to what it always should be, a family. And I hope to fucking Highfather that does not change anytime soon. Hopefully never again. Bruce and Jason are in a good spot. Bruce and Damian are in a good spot. Tim and Dick are in the good spot that they've always been in, but now they're all closer as family unit. I love it. Let it be. Please, for the love of God.
Would be nice.
It would be very nice.
Just a moment.
Yeah. I'm giving this a 9.25 out of 10. It honestly fucking gripped me.
What about you, Brandon?
8.5 out of 10 for me. Like Rob said, Jorge's art is definitely cinematic is a good way to describe it. His understanding of layouts is just incredible, and it really shows in this issue. But yeah, no, I mean it's solid issue, solid conclusion. I do feel like it was maybe a little anticlimactic. Like maybe I was expecting more with how they actually deal with Zurinar. So I'm wondering if this is just an ending for Zurinar and it's not the ending.
Yeah.
That could just be Cope. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It just that felt like, oh well, all they had to do was just trick him into killing someone, and then it would just shut him down. Feels like something they could have done a while ago. But anyway, aside from that, yeah, no, pretty solid stuff. It's great to see the family working together, and hopefully we can keep this dynamic going without fracturing it again in 6 months. So
yeah,
hopefully. First, wait, how much? What did you say you gave it, Brandon?
8.5.
8.5. All right. First, that's some damn impressive mind freaking of Bruce by his mentor Captillo. I didn't expect there to be a second phrase. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
And I actually dig Tim's new costume. It sets him apart from the rest of them. Definitely sets them apart from Damian. And just for our listeners' clarification, when Rob was referring to the Robins, what he meant was Nightwing, Red Hood, Damian Wayne, and Robin.
What is Damian's code name?
Damian doesn't have a code name. Everybody calls him Damian in the field.
Why does he have an R on his chest?
Semantics?
You're a semantic.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Okay.
And you say that Tim's new costume is setting him apart from Damian. They both went from red to dark.
Yeah.
But they don't look the same. Although I do want to say I wish Damian's domino mask was red.
Damian had a hood.
What?
Damian used to have a hood.
Used to?
Yeah.
And?
I think he still does with that costume, does he not?
I don't think so, does it?
Might.
He
does.
It's got a
Definitely
collar.
does.
Oh yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah.
Okay. I just never see him wear it.
Yeah, I think just it's very uncommon.
Yeah.
He's not moody right now. That's
Tim,
and that's relative.
Tim, how can you? Okay, if Tim is your Robin, how can you have a Robin that's not in the bright colors? That was the whole point of the Robin costume.
No,
was
it wasn't.
That's
a
brightness.
Yes, it was.
A retroactive.
No. Rob is absolutely right about that. No,
that's
a
retroactive fan perspective.
That was not a fan perspective.
That's from the comics.
That's from the comics.
Then
like Bruce literally said the bright colors will,
is the reason
colors will
Robin is so colorful.
Yeah.
What's your reason?
He doesn't need that. No, he doesn't need that no more. But anyway,
what's your understanding of why the Robin costume was ever colorful? If not that,
the color choices in
that's the in canon reason. The out of canon reason is just because like the primary colors work well with. If we're talking about like why. Actually, it's designed like that. Yeah, that's like the
looks better.
That's the real world reason. That's not the in canon reason. Rob is right for the in canon reason.
Tim went off on that to Bruce a number of times.
Yeah, but okay. Anyway, I also thought Batman's new costume was cool, even though it had, for me, way too many points on the bat wings. But
yeah, the costume was cool. I just didn't like the belt. Had these weird handle things near the buckle that was kind of awkward, but the rest of the suit was dope.
I'll have to go back and look at the belt again just to be critical.
But all right,
as far as then it's dope. As far as the story goes, Batman versus the Bat Fam is not a brand new thing. It's been done. We've heard Brandon complain about having to read it again, and I get that.
But very tired trope at this point.
Yeah,
for some reason, to me, this one it feels different. It feels like we're looking at a new dynamic between Bruce and his family. Jason looking at him and saying, "You're not in charge anymore." I feel as though we're going to be looking at that kind of a dynamic between them for a while, and that's cool. One where they're all equals.
I hope so.
Seeing Jason die just about fucking made me cry. I mean, I've had an emotional day. I got 0 hours of sleep. Missed my kids like crazy that I haven't seen in years because I was celebrating my other son's birthday. So when I saw Jason die, I just about fucking lost it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. These are all things that we have seen before. It just reads different for me, and maybe that's just me today. But I fucking felt it. It was written wonderfully, like Brandon and Rob said. This was like reading a movie. The action, the plot, the dialogue, and of course the art and colors from one of my favorite teams in DC, if not my favorite art team in DC. It's a tough one there, but here they really show up and show off. I love this issue, if you can't tell. It literally rang every single bell for me. It was damn near perfect. Some really small stuff, like I don't like the way that M&S draws Waller, but that's literally one panel. I don't have a for me, I don't have a choice. This was such a good issue, as shocking as this may be. Batman gets a 9.75 out of 10.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I think that might be my second one.
Second ever, 9.75.
Second ever.
Damn.
In 201 episodes. I think that's only the second 9.75 I've ever given.
Damn. Well, with that, top 3 and favorite of the week, I think we all know what number 1 for Josh is. So, Brandon, do you want to kick us off with this?
Sure. At number 3, I think I would have Poison. I did not write this down, so this is just going to be me ad-libbing it. Yeah, number 3, I think I would have Poison Ivy. Number 2, probably would put Birds of Prey. But number 1 this week is Batman, number 148. Favorite moments? Ooh, probably from Birds. The moment where I forget what the exact line is, but
tell me I thought there would be much more brimstone and fire.
No.
Oh.
It was like after Barda is possessed, and someone says like, "Oh wow, you took like the whole like Barda doesn't break thing seriously," or something like that. I can't remember what the exact line was, but yeah, that was pretty funny.
Or
What about you,
Barda
Rob?
doesn't lie. Or
Oh,
something
yeah,
like
Barda
that.
doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Barda's been great through this.
Really
Just pull this up for a second here. I forgot to actually pull it up. My bad. So at number 3, I have Shazam. Number 12. Lots of emotion there. Number 2 is Poison Ivy. Number 23. Even more emotion there. And at number 1 is Batman. Number 148. Just all the emotion. A lot of emotion for all 4 issues we covered this week, but my goodness, Batman number 148 kind of ran away with it. Favorite moment for me, I really want to give it to Poison Ivy with Janet from HR and Harley just talking, and Harley just being fucking Harley. Say, okay, come here, side quest. Like that fucking cracked me up.
Good times.
Very good times. But for me, honestly, favorite moments, absolutely favorite moments. Like there's so many cool ones in Batman 148. Like the one I mentioned about the Batman swooping in from the sky into the gates of Blackgate, and it just looked so much like fresh out of Arkham Asylum. Like I feel like I played that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But quite honestly, it's the last page where you have Batman and his boys flying off into the night together. It feels like we've finally come full circle back to where we should be, with Wayne family adventures in the main canon. It's what it feels like. I'm so excited to see where Chip Zdarsky can take this family.
You and me both, man.
Yeah.
All right, my top three. Number 3 goes to Shazam. Number 12. Number 2 goes to Poison Ivy. Number 3, and of course, number 1 goes to General Zod. Number 6. I'm fucking with you, Batman 148.
Don't you do that. General Zod is a lovely man. It's a good book, damn it.
My favorite moment, I got to break it down into 2. The art, I couldn't ignore this. The splash page of the family dropping down with everybody. Oh my God, that was gorgeous. In Batman, I should say.
Yes.
My dialogue favorite moment, though, was in Birds of Prey when they arrive in Barda's interpretation of the reskin. And she's said, I thought there would be much more brimstone and fire. And Barda says, Barda has multitudes. Yeah. I laughed out loud when I read that shit.
And then decides to pick a nice, quaint house. Right. This is a lovely house. I have plenty of good taste and style.
Barda has layers. Everybody loves a parfait.
Like onions. Yeah, so that was our show. Kneel Before Zod gets an 8,000 out of 10.
Yeah, earlier in the thing when I was giving my honorable mentions, I said General Zod number 6. Rob likes it. Ask him what the score is. Thanks.
No, okay, not 8,000 out of 10. It gets an 8.5. I like it. Brandon, are you reading Kneel Before Zod?
I kind of dropped out.
Okay, that's fair.
But
I like it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was so bad. I'm gonna kind of let it pile up, and then maybe I'll, blow through a couple issues.
Yeah,
fair enough.
You might be very interested once you get to this issue, because there's I want to say a Legion villain.
Oh,
I know she's been in other stuff, but I don't remember.
I am curious who it is.
Yeah.
Oh shit, a Legion villain.
Yeah. Should I just bury the lead?
I mean, I'm not going to read it. That's up to Branch.
Emerald Empress.
Oh yeah.
Of the Fatal Five.
Yeah.
Of Legion. Yeah. But was the Fatal Five in like the present day as well? Were they other villains, or were they just Legion
No,
villains?
they're usually in the. I mean, there's been moments in the past where they've come to the past, and then there was the like weird version of the Fatal Five from Justice League versus Suicide Squad, that random event from 2016. But no, typically, the Fatal Five is long in the future.
Yeah. So that leads even more curiosity as to why Emerald Empress with the giant glowing eye is in present day in a prison in space. Yeah. So that was a nice reveal. I liked it. I'm liking this series. So I don't care what Josh says. It's a good book. Anyway, that's our show, folks. Thank you for joining us. It's been fun. We are here for another 100 episodes. We'll see you not only in number 300, but also in 202.
Indeed. And I've spent the last 2 hours sitting here going, God damn it, it better be Snowstorm at the end of Scarlet.
Well, you better.
I would have been okay with both Snake Eyes or Snowstorm, but I really hope it's Snowstorm. He's just the best. He's the best villain.
Are you trolling?
No.
Snowstorm?
Snowstorm. Or God damn it. I said that wrong.
Even I don't know the character that well.
Storm Shadow. My bad.
Storm Shadow.
Yes.
Punking me?
Sorry. That was a brain blip. Storm Shadow.
What the fuck?
I really hope it's Storm Shadow. There.
Can I ask, and Josh, you can tell me if it's a spoiler question, and Brandon, you can tell me if you don't want to say the answer. But is it one of those two characters?
Yes. Well, I guess, the spoilers, yes, it is. I mean, that's not really, I feel like that's, I very heavily implied it, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh removed his headphones.
Somebody we're good?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
You didn't hear anything, right?
No.
Nope.
I don't think it'll
sons
be
of bitches off fast.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be a surprise, but if you want to continue
There's so
with the mystery,
there's
go for it.
so many people that anyway
that it
oh
could
my
be.
All right. Okay. I got to get off of this so I can. Do I have to read other books before Scarlet, or is this something I could read standalone?
No, you can read it standalone. I mean, it helps to have just kind of a general knowledge of the stuff that's going on in the Energon universe, but from every indication in this first issue, you don't really need to know anything.
All right. So as far as just to make sure that I've got it right, as far as the Energon universe and let's call it not quite, but basically required, it's Cobra Commander, Duke, Scarlet, Transformers, and Void Rivals, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
Although
whole.
Void Rivals a little less so because it's kind of doing its own thing, but there is crossover with the Transformers mythos.
Yeah.
Okay,
so far,
so-
we've really just seen like some Transformers show up in Void Rivals.
Yeah.
And one or two of them have popped up in Transformers and flashbacks, but they've yet to actually interact.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. And
Apart from
then
the
as
awesome
far as the
Transformers.
rest of it goes, there's no. It's just
kind of
Transformers, right?
intertwined, but they're
It's
writing
just
their own
Transformers,
sales.
right? It's not like Transformers / GI Joe.
No, I mean,
No.
Okay.
Duke spins like off of an issue of Transformers, but like it's also its own story.
Yeah.
And
Okay, I just because there's loads of those kind of combo titles. You know what I
No,
mean?
Yeah, no, it's
not
not,
that one.
like that.
Okay,
And
Like
just
G-
regular
most-
Transformers.
yeah, most of these issues do a pretty good job of catching you up to speed if you haven't read the other stuff. So
8
Yeah.
books.
GI Joe, the GI Joe books so far, at least with Duke and Cobra Commander, do have a heavy tie into Transformers universe as well. So the whole thing seems to be circling around Transformers, but it's not like you have to read Transformers to understand what's going on.
No, but it's a part of the fucking story, though.
yeah, but like again, it explains a lot of this stuff in the first issue, so it's not
Yeah.
you're not completely in the dark.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of like Transformers is doing its own thing right now, telling its
Yeah.
own story. But there
Basically,
is
yeah, I mean,
a whole
literally-
big universe story that's going
Yeah,
on.
the only like GI Joe stuff they had in Transformers was just in that one issue, and then
Yeah.
everything. Like honestly, you don't even really need to read the rest of. I mean, you should because it's amazing.
It's fucking awesome.
You really only need to read what is that, issue 2 or 3? I think it was issue 2.
Three,
I mean,
maybe?
obviously, this is going to
One of those
culminate
two.
in something together. If it's in a shared, universe, it's going
I'd
to
imagine.
culminate. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
they've been
definitely has
teasing
that
it,
vibe.
But I think they're running on the assumption that like for now at least you can read some of this stuff independently and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
all right. So is Void Rivals an ongoing, or is it limited to 8?
that's ongoing.
That's ongoing.
Transformers and Void Rivals are the 2 ongoings. Everything
All right,
else is
and
a
then
series.
the rest get 5 issues apiece, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Void Rivals is
Alright.
also pretty good, but it's a bit of an out there story.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, everything is kind of doing its own thing. It's just
Yeah.
they just also
So
happen
far.
to be connected. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a completely original story in Void Rivals
Yeah.
too.
It sounds like a Tom Taylor kind of story where you get all these threads that are all over the place and you're like, what the fuck? And then you later on see how everything gets knotted together. I'm down.
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
No,
I
it's
wouldn't.
too
do it
bad
that
about
way.
Duke,
I mean,
though.
again, like they are connected, but each one is telling its own story. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't look at it as that like, oh, I have to read all of these because I want to understand the grand story. Like, I think you're going to be kind of disappointed if you're looking at it from that perspective. Like Void
Yeah.
Rivals is telling its story, but it's also part of Energon. Transformers also telling its own story, but it's also part of Energon. Where they will, connect in terms of another story has yet to be seen, but like they're mostly doing their own thing. So
Let me ask you a question before we sign off here, and I thank everybody. Have you guys ever had where you've gone and you picked up an issue or a couple of issues of a series you haven't read, and you're sitting there reading, and you're like, well, what the hell led up to this? And then you
Yeah,
start
that's the best
peeling
part.
back through the internet and you're finding out, all right, well, this, like, all these seeds got planted 46 issues ago. Do you guys go back and read those 46, or am I alone?
Most of the time, I'll go to the wiki. Like,
Yeah.
if it's a few issues, I'll just dig up the issues if I can get them. But if it's like 46 issues, I'll look up a wiki because
it very much depends, because the issue has to be like very enticing and engaging for me to want to commit to read everything that came. Because like, I mean, I can't tell you the number of issues that you just pick something, you're like, oh, I want to check this out, and I read it and I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, I got a taste of it, I'm good. But if it's something where I'm like, wow, that was amazing, like I need to find out what happened next, then yeah, I'm gonna go back to issue 1 and start from there.
Yeah.
I feel like I either don't care and assume that I'll find out through the caption boxes, or I have to go back to all of those. It's like one or the other.
Yeah.
I wish there was a middle ground for me, but there's not. All right, guys. I think that's it. Everybody else done talking, or tired of it anyway? Thank you, everybody out there, for watching. We will be back next week, as we are every week, covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same geek time, same geek channel. And that is the show. We're getting out of here, so you have to as well. Be careful out there. And remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you